Pluto, a celestial orb that has captivated so much emotion and curiosity. Let's explore this strange and wonderful object. Hello, I'm your host, Jason Webster, and together we will be taking a journey into the mysteries of Pluto. How was Pluto discovered? What is Pluto's composition? How should Pluto be classified? Follow me on this incredible journey to find the answers of Mysterious Pluto. There were many astronomers who predicted the existence of a ninth planet. However, it was the efforts of a man by the name of Percival Lowell who took up the task of finding this ninth planet, or Planet X, as it was referred to in earnest. His deep-seated desire was fueled by his Harvard education in astronomical mathematics, and his success in business and politics. Lowell was an individual who not only had the desire to find Planet X, but he also had the financial resources. Finding a new planet, as you can imagine, requires a considerable amount of resources. Lowell had constructed an observatory on Mars Hill in Flagstaff, Arizona, a number of years before his search for Planet X, mainly to study Mars. However, Lowell's observatory would be key in the discovery of the planetary body to become known as Pluto. Lowell's search for Planet X was based primarily on his studies of the orbits of Uranus and Neptune. Lowell, as many others, believed that the orbits of Neptune and Uranus were out of the usual alignment due to another planetary object's gravitational influence. Planet X, based upon Lowell's calculations, he persisted that the semi-major axis of Planet X's orbit would be close to 47.5 AU. This calculation was in accordance with the Titus-Bow rule. Thus, by Lowell basing his calculations on the orbit of Neptune, he felt confident that he could find Planet X. However, sadly, Lowell was not able to find Planet X. Ironically, the object we know as Pluto was photographed many times by Lowell. However, because he was looking for a much larger body, he completely ignored this small, undesirable object. After Percival Lowell's death, along comes Clyde Tombaugh. Clyde Tombaugh was a farm boy from Kansas who had a deep love for astronomy. As such, Clyde had taught himself how to build homemade telescopes and study the stars. Clyde's skills as an astronomer impressed the director of the Lowell Observatory, Vesto Melvin Slipher. In February of 1929, he invited Clyde to join the observatory staff. During this time, a new telescope had been purchased by Percival Lowell's brother, and upgrades were made to the observatory. As a staff member, Tombaugh was tasked with using the telescope to find Planet X, though he didn't know this at the time of his arrival. Clyde's new job certainly was challenging but exciting. In order to find this Planet X, Clyde had to fix the telescope on its polar axis. Then, in order to cancel out the effects of Earth's rotation, Clyde had to constantly adjust the telescope's position in order to keep it focused on the target location. He also had to make sure that film was loaded and replaced every hour in the end of the telescope so that the motion of any objects could be recorded. After a few weeks of searching for Planet X, Clyde had to inspect all the images to see if anything moved. Inspecting the images was difficult and laborious. Clyde had to use a machine called a blink combinator. This allowed a user to flip back and forth between images and thus detected the smallest of changes, allowing a moving object to be visible. This was how Pluto was discovered. On February 18, 1930, Clyde Tombaugh reviewed the film plates on which exposures had been made. After reviewing these plates, Tombaugh found a moving object. However, being a careful astronomer, Tombaugh compared his findings to exposures taken from another telescope on the same night. He was excited to find that the object existed in both locations. This ruled out any errors or issues with the photography or telescope. Tombaugh was very excited and showed his findings to his boss. Tombaugh's discovery of a new planet was confirmed. The discovery was made public on March 13, 1930, which coincided with the 75th anniversary of Lowell's birthday and the 149th anniversary of the discovery of Uranus. Many names were suggested for this newly discovered celestial object, but the Lowell Observatory staff favored the name suggested by an 11-year-old girl from Oxford, UK, Venetia Burney, who submitted the name Pluto. The Lowell staff believed that naming the new object after the Greek god of the underworld made sense, as Pluto was very far from the Sun. So, what exactly is Pluto? Well, it's hard to say, but here's what is known. Pluto is roughly 3,670,000,000 miles from the Sun. That works out to be about 39.64 AUs. That is, Pluto is 39.64 times the average distance of the Earth from the Sun. Pluto's incredible distance from the Sun makes it a very cold place, where the average temperature hovers around negative 369 degrees Fahrenheit. For a point of reference, absolute zero is negative 459.67 degrees Fahrenheit. A very cold place indeed. Because Pluto is so far from the Sun, it takes Pluto 249.4 Earth years to complete a full orbit. During this extended orbit, Pluto actually crosses the orbit of Uranus. Pluto is very small. Its diameter is 1,484 miles, making Pluto smaller than Earth's moon. A day on Pluto is roughly 153.28 hours, or equal to 6.38 Earth days. Additionally, it is believed that Pluto has an atmosphere and experiences seasons. However, both are nothing like what we understand of Earth's atmosphere and seasons. Pluto is truly an alien world. Because of Pluto's incredibly alien attributes, Pluto is very difficult to classify. However, when Pluto was first discovered, technology didn't exist to answer many of the questions which could truly define Pluto as a planet. At the time of Pluto's discovery, it was enough to prove that the object wandered through the sky like the other planets, and therefore Pluto was easily classified as a planet. Yet with advancements in technology and the discovery of additional objects, which are both larger and more distant than Pluto, it became necessary to redefine the notion of what a planet was. This became especially true with the discovery of Eris. Eris is 27% more massive than Pluto and orbits the Sun at 3 times the distance of Pluto. With the discovery of Eris, the traditional definition of what a planet was came into question. As such, much controversy ensued. It was further discovered that Pluto and Eris are two of many celestial objects which orbit the Sun at the edge of our solar system. These objects are all part of the Kuiper Belt, which extends beyond the orbit of Neptune. With the discovery of so many objects in the Kuiper Belt, the astronomical term planet has come to be redefined. After the discovery of Eris and its subsequent designation as a planet, the Astronomical Society was thrown into turmoil. Two camps developed. One camp of astronomers believed that both Eris and Pluto should be classified as planets, and the second camp of astronomers believed that these objects did not fit the definition of a planet, and that Pluto should be demoted as a result. Both camps were mainly divided along cultural lines, with the Americans wanting to define both objects as planets, due to the fact that Americans had discovered both, and with mostly Europeans desiring to change the definition of a planet and supporting the demotion of Pluto. Finally, on August 24, 2006, the International Astronomical Union, the IAU, decided to put the definition of a planet to a vote. The overwhelming majority voted to create a definition that excluded Eris and Pluto as planets. This decision effectively demoted Pluto to dwarf planet status, after having been a planet for nearly 80 years. After the decision, public outcry was tremendous. Some states voted to continue calling Pluto a planet, and school textbooks would not be rewritten. Adoption of the new planetary definition has been slow, especially in America. However, all is not doom and gloom. With these latest discoveries, a whole new classification of planetary objects has been made, and science is continuing to expand and define our understanding of astronomical objects. This is an exciting time. NASA's New Horizons mission aims to finally answer some of the burning questions about Pluto. The probe will come very close to the dwarf planet, about 5,960 miles, at a rate of 7 miles per second. The probe will be able to perform a spectral analysis of Pluto's atmosphere and make more precise measurements than is possible by Earth and space-bound telescopes. Additionally, the probe will be able to photograph and map a good portion of Pluto's surface. This will allow scientists to get their first glimpses of Pluto's surface and obtain a better understanding of the geological processes taking place. The New Horizons probe is due to arrive in July of 2015. In closing, the celestial object known as Pluto has been a mystery for the last 84 years. Previously thought to be a planet, then recategorized as a dwarf planet, For the time that humans have known Pluto, this orb has inspired astronomers for decades and caused many to search out answers to some of the deepest mysteries of our solar system. With the arrival of the New Horizons space probe, perhaps humanity will finally be able to satisfy its unquestionable desire to intimately know Pluto. Yes, perhaps Mysterious Pluto will finally reveal its secrets. Once again, I'm Jason Webster, and this has been Mysterious Pluto. Thank you for watching.